Hello. I love that. I love the immediate coughing
Coughing
fit.
fit, yeah.
Good shit.
Yep, Sekron's dying. Great way to
Hello,
start.
everybody.
Some quality
Welcome to
streaming right there.
tonight's episode of Homeward. I can't get a fucking intro normally this season. Apparently,
I even did a slow
Never.
count.
no, I know, and I
Just
was
for
like,
you.
You get an
I know.
account. Typically, we don't do that.
Oh, shit.
I know, and I was like, yeah, this is great. And then I suddenly, my throat is like, oh, cool. Let me start coughing right now. Hello and welcome everybody to tonight's episode of Homeward. This actual play, not podcast, god damn it, actual play live stream of Starfinder here in the Nair Asylum. And well, to kind of jump into the story where we left off, as our crewmates of the Dralark were having this 2 week more or less period of relaxing, not really, getting some situations solved in the ship and also figuring out more for themselves, and a couple of them figuring out more not only about themselves but about possibly things beyond the the boundaries of space and even time itself, perhaps. Who knows? But that time of more or less calmness was interrupted by a call to the bridge that they receive. They pick up a distress signal, more or less indicating, even by the codes in it, that it might have been a distress signal happening because a failure and the ship itself, structure being compromised. And after some voting, some individuals from both the bridge officers and of our group here agreeing and disagreeing on going, it was decided to go not directly toward the distress signal, but get close-ish to get a better readings. And so the pilots of the ship, Katix and I forget his name, Katix and Egestas, begin preparing the Dralark to make its way toward the distress signal and kind of drop it at a safe distance to maybe use one of the craft inside the Dralark, either the Wonder 2 or possibly another ship, to go in and investigate. But before that, getting there, hailing. And so in this time that it will take, I'd say like an hour or so of drift traveling, probably a bit less because I think drift does like, time dilation and stuff, and traveling and stuff, space stuff. You won't be there in the next 10 minutes. It will take like 30, 40, an hour minute time to get there. So you have that time to discuss if you have anything. But in the meantime, the pilots are getting ready, and you do know that the ship, for the drift engines to properly get ready, they need some minutes of preparation and calibration. So people are still on the bridge, some talking among themselves, at least the ones that work in the same kind of area. And Theta, I need you to roll me a d6, and one is S, 2 is null, 3 is Mac, and the rest of the numbers will be someone in the bridge. If it's 6, everybody in the bridge. One. Okay. So
I'm
as
so
you
glad
guys
it's
are,
not 6.
oh my god, I really wanted it to be 6. I really
I
wanted
don't
it to
I
be
don't know what's happening though.
I don't either, and I'm scared.
So as you guys are there, and though you're still in front of the situation table with the holographic projection of, the approximate analysis and visuals of the things around you, though incomplete because the sensors are still not fully repaired. You're there, people are kind of scattering a bit, checking different things. And as that is happening, S, you are, you know, in your mind, you're more in a problem solving mindset at the moment, just thinking, considering like, okay, if we take the Wonder 2, but before we take it, we need to make sure that the communications are on, and maybe I can check on things to make sure that is. And as you're going on that process, like a soft whisper comes around your mind, not of words, but of, initially it's not even something you recognize or even think it's there, until you realize that sound, it's strings like a cello being played, and there's a tune to it. But at the same time that you hear the sound, which in a way sounds like whenever you're thinking of a melody, like you're not thinking itself the instruments, but more of that vague recollection of how they sounded. There's also like a humming with it, but it's not to your left or your right. It's like in your head, and when you're thinking of it, and the rest of your thoughts stop, you realize this is not something you're thinking, because you think about a melody, it kind of stops, but you're like,
Hang on. Where would you like? Let me mute real quick.
I will say that if that humming is a language for a certain race, I do speak Sharon. Just putting that back out there.
roll me perception. Actually, I think perception is a thing.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not going to be a difficult roll because.
Okay.
S does speak like 87 languages.
I want to say I only have 15 currently, but that is an 18 on my perception check.
Yeah,
Speak
there's no
15
language.
languages.
There's no language, but there is a tune of a voice, a certain, I don't know how to describe it, but it's a voice you recognize, and you look around, pacing different faces on the bridge, until you look and focus your vision on Kasinkara. And when you focus your vision on them, there is this, for a moment, odd sensation of this kind of whispery, distant humming and playing of the melody becoming clearer, as if you were for a moment tuning in into the telepathic radio that is just sending that signal. But it's not like the active manner that they have done all this time when they talk to you.
All right. So I think Ash is going to go over to Kay kind of casually and testing hypotheses and waters. Just so what's on your mind right now? And that's immediately what Kay would hear. And then I would be paying attention for if Kay responds, and then if I also lose that sound that was in my mind.
Kay seems to be staring as much as Kay can just stare, kind of off into the distance. Like they're looking at the table, but they're not looking at the table.
Mm-hmm.
And when you talk, the initial bit of what's on your mind right now, it takes a lagged second for Kay to just like, huh?
S will swap over to Sharon to help with the lag process of someone's second language learning. And as he repeats the question. Your thoughts, are they busy, empty, here?
I've had more memories lately, and I'm thinking on them.
Okay. Pleasant or something concerning?
Pleasant, but also concerning. Before, I remembered the captain, and the captain asked me why I wanted to be on the Dralark. And I gave some flippant answer. And then I remembered a person that was very kind, and it made me sad. And I don't fully understand what it was that I was doing here before or now.
And that's important for you to figure that out, yeah?
It would be nice. I made a choice that would have made me happier, I would think. I don't know. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine to not know, and please don't. We've been awake for we've been awake with our lost memories for not very long. It's a fraction of most of us having lived. It's, I think, very promising that you don't know much more than what you know. It's great that you're remembering things, but with everything being as it is, I don't know, perhaps it'd be a little more concerning if you did have all the answers.
I want to figure it out.
So we'll work on it.
How? Everything comes in reminders. It's not like we have a photo album with our lives.
No, but you mentioned that bookstore. Did they have a section on science, memory? Perhaps there's research that can be done. There's definitely enough that we found just digging through the small pieces that we've got, piecing together what we can in a more logistical and I don't know, business-like venture. And all this seems a lot higher than what I would place myself comparatively with, having seen your rooms, having seen Melodius's, and knowing where you guys fit on the ship. I don't seem to fit there at all. You said we've only really had one instance of me in the records, and it's me showing up. So we search what we can, use what we can, and, it may not be perfect, but if knowing would make you happier, make you feel better, I think it's effort well spent.
I hope so. I know memories can be difficult for people. Lord knows I've been dealing with most of the ship, and it's been stressful. I don't know how I'm helping people when I don't know what's going on myself. It's very difficult. But thank you, S. I will try to stay more focused.
Yeah, no, no worries. Just, if you perhaps, I know that you talk all day as part of your, duties on the ship. If you ever just want to not talk, but not be alone, I'm available most of the time.
Kay will look you dead in the face, say, I am going to hug you now, and then hug you.
Okay. You feel very much the tension because S in this moment he's a little less tense talking to Kay, but since coming up to the bridge has been very kind of shut in like he normally does in large crowds, as well as you feel the heat sensors very close because S puts out a lot of body heat because of reasons.
Right.
So there's a tension, but he doesn't like fight back or like entirely
It's also
freeze.
not a long hug. It's just like
Right.
a brief hug and then release. It's like a thank you type hug.
Yeah, totally. So okay, can't say that I get many of those, but
Did we all hear Kay say, I'm going to hug you now?
It was in Sharon.
So you hear Bug speak.
Yeah, you just hear them clicking back and forth.
It's just a hug.
And then you just see Kay give S a brief hug.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mac, who is still violently hungover, watching this happen.
So
Yeah, for anyone looking at it that doesn't know Sharon, it's kind of
real
surprising
confusing.
how S is able to speak it and seems to be doing it in a fluent way. For anyone that knows Sharon, do roll me a perception.
I don't think
Okay.
anybody else knows Sharon.
I don't think there's
I
any reason I
know
would.
common
Actually,
and binary.
Actually, I think particularly for Kay won't require the perception. I think this is something she would catch in a naturally because her language, race language, speech language. There is a curious accent, intonation, sound to S. Sheeran. He speaks it in a very good way, a bit too good, but there's also a part of that is like you're not sure, but it sounds more like recorded. Like it's just the sounds. They're very well placed, very well executed, but it's like it's not really him speaking and just making the motions and speaking.
Okay.
And I don't think at this moment Kay knows what S is. So this is like weird. Then again, what hasn't been weird in the past weeks?
Yeah.
I had to do my hair down because I just realized that Mac is still super hungover. He hasn't put his hair up yet.
That to her.
Flight of the Conchords binary solo.
I just two people that I know personally are in the chat right now, and I love them so much. They just came in, just guns blazing. I love you two so much.
But yeah, a little exchange happens. At the moment, just looking around and seeing, what's up with the ship. I don't know. So after a quick check, I did realize that for the drift engine to take off, it's a minute. So it didn't take long before the ship aligns, has to turn the engines off, the supply engines, and then jump into this otherworldly dimension as like the rift opens and you go into this purplish mirage of universe that you're traversing. And so I need to roll for them to see how fast it will take. Actually, if they're taking 10, no, it would be like 40 minutes to get to a distance that you can hail and not be next to it. Anything that you guys would like to do in the meantime? Any preparation, anything? Yes.
Who is in charge of like requisitioning? Like not the captain, not the person who's steering the ship, but who's in charge of like quartermastering, logistics, stuff like that. That is the person Noel's going to want to talk to.
Well, after a while, you will discover that technically the quartermaster, or at least the operations officer, is Bohibel. He's the one that has been, and the one that unfortunately the charge of coordinating the different teams has fallen upon. Cool. Hence the constant mug of coffee.
And I got the hookup when it comes to a friend.
Nelodius is going to want to, once they're done doing their weird bug thing, pull them into this. It has occurred to me that something we should prepare for is the event that there are people aboard this ship that we are approaching who do not want to kill us, who are desperately in distress, and who we potentially may need to house on this ship. Now, I have had the foresight to begin producing adequate food in case our numbers suddenly increase, although that is helped by the fact that we are considerably down in numbers. So that is more or less taken care of. However, we should probably coordinate some sort of triage situation if people are coming on injured and in need of medical care, figure out where people are going to sleep, figure out how we're going to keep track of people, etc., etc.
Well,
go ahead.
Okay, so for that part, hey, Chief Tarzan, and you see that he doesn't shout but calls out for specifically the Casata that received you in the hangar. He said, didn't you mention that you have that in the hangar there's like a medical ship, like something like that? And the Casata does look back. He still has that attire, like very work style jacket and harness, like very engineering, very hands-on thing. He does look back. Yes, we do have that. The Sky Medic, I think it's called. We have it in the hangar. It's workable. Actually, I was thinking about it, and I think it's the only other ship in this goddamn piece of metal that has the drift engine along with the Dralark. So if you pals were thinking of taking the Wanderer 2, that might not be possible. You might need to take that one. Unless we get close and then you take the Sky Medic and the Wanderer 2 and, get us all in danger. But I guess the entire ship voted for going there, right? But you see that he nods, like somewhat aggravated. Yes, we have that Sky Medic ship. Has a medical bay inside of it, so it can be used for quick transport if necessary. So for that, I think we can contact Dr. Ninsist, medical chief of the infirmary and the rest of that sector, to let them know we might receive some people. Part of that, well, we have a lot of, apparently, as far as we've been seeing in activity of and energy, there's many rooms that are not being occupied. There's still a space in the In the living section that hasn't been recovered, hasn't been cleaned up. So I'm guessing enough of the owners of those locales and stuff are no longer among us. So that's also spaces that can be retrofitted. But we we'll need to coordinate with engineering to get some of that set up and probably get some of those rooms open because they're locked, most of them, or repaired. But yeah, it's a good point. Thank you. We'll start seeing about that. Though he looks around before kind of talking in a lower tone. Though I'm still not sure, about the whole thing. I mean, I'm wondering if we can get answers, but honestly, I don't know. Weird feeling about it. Then again, everything has been causing me a real fear. Weird to feel. God damn, I need sleep.
Yeah, well, the cosmos work in mysterious ways. We must have been at the right place at the right time, although I suppose our reception by this distressed ship will, whether or not it's friendly, will potentially impact that. But good man. Good to see you've got solid head on your shoulders and you're thought of this. Just wanted to put it out there in case someone hadn't.
It's a good point. It's a good point. Yeah, just let know once we get to the range and we do the contact. Maybe we can see if what will be the next step. Who knows? Everybody decides to not go there after the second checking with them.
Or they could all be dead.
Or they could all be dead.
Could just be an automated distress signal. Could be time to make more room in the biocomposter. Who knows? Maybe we'll have a new ship.
Maybe pirates.
To look on the bright side.
Well, the distress signal was marking, damage to the actual critical integrity damage. God, I need some sleep. The ship is not in good state, apparently, based on that signal. So we'll see. Just if need be, just don't go out for a walk. In the meantime, he nods and kind of goes back to the table and begins you see that he begins making some beginning to send messages to different sections of the ship, in particular to the medical section. And yeah, he doesn't address us anything else.
Now, why would he say that, Ez? Why would he say that specifically? The thing about going for a walk.
Yeah, did we all hear Vahima? Was that Vahima?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did we all just hear Vahima mention going for a walk?
Hey, Ez, why would he say that? Why would he say that, Ez?
Yeah, was that straight up out loud?
He said it in a tone that is talking directly to him, not too loud. There's also talk around, so probably, it could be something you overheard, probably, but again, depends where your attention is. And if you have a hangover, I would say that no, that's something you missed. But you do see the reaction of Nelodius.
I see the reaction. Say what, Ed?
No.
Say what now?
No, I imagine that this, that conversation was happening at the same time as S and K's conversation was happening. So
this is immediately after the hug?
Yeah, this is hug, and then they look over and he's like, why did he say that, S?
He's in the middle of two really awkward conversations. She's now really intrigued. There's tea happening.
S just kind of looks over to Noel. I may have forgotten about certain things until certain things were happening.
What certain things were happening?
How delightfully vague.
Yeah. All right. Look, and S will walk over next to Null, so it's not over the entire bridge. All right. So, what happened as he kind of now talks low enough for Null to hear, and if anyone came over to overhear
I would
this,
over.
when doors are opened, it sends an alert, and I didn't want people to panic. And so Vahivel, I told him that I was going for a walk.
Two
And to not,
questions. No, go ahead.
and to not worry about the alarm that was going to be going off.
2 questions. Every door? Is it every door?
Any door
it's
that
every
opens.
So the bathroom.
No,
If someone's
not
No,
not-
something real rough,
okay. All right,
just
that's
back
bad.
and forth and back and
That's
forth.
No,
bad.
it's exterior doors.
Exterior door. That was bad.
No.
On
Airlock doors.
Okay. 2. You realize he thinks I'm fucking insane now, right? Everyone on the ship already
I
thinks I'm a
didn't-
fucking lunatic.
I
don't think you're a lunatic.
Why not?
I
All
think you're eccentric. But
That's
not
a
a
good
lunatic.
question. Why don't I think you're a lunatic?
I
The
told
moment that Melodius raised a bit his voice, just to see that some people are like beginning to look that direction, like, what is happening?
Aren't you supposed to be doing something important?
More people look toward the direction.
Noel
Max.
just gets, or not Noel. S just gets smaller as he feels more eyes looking over to the thing. I did not mention you, Noel. So I don't know I don't know the conversation you just had. I said that I was going out. It was all me, my business. I was handling it.
Well, clearly it's become our business because he explicitly told me not to go for a walk.
And I'm sorry that
So that thing that you tried to do that was not a good plan when you tried to do it the first time due to things that you would not let me help you with. You
I
did
would have
anyway.
been fine.
We're not discussing that right now. You did it anyway. You took S with you. Glad that you're both perfectly fine, by the way. Would have loved to have been informed that you were doing such a thing. But
Would love to know when it became your business, but go on.
when I became the person who drives the ship, had we have gone into the drift while you guys were out there, who knows what would have happened.
I believe that's why they informed Bahibel that everything was going to be okay, so they didn't go into the drift while they were out there. And once the door was closed, it would send another alarm stating that the door was closed and that everything would be
also-
okay.
made sure to check in after the fact to make sure that people were alerted that nothing was wrong.
So
I had a moment where my thoughts were not entirely clear, but I set myself on track after the fact.
Sorry, I don't mean to be making forests from matchsticks, but it's refreshing, I suppose, to know that everyone is in everyone's business all the time, which is not something I should be surprised about, considering we're in a tin can in space.
Not that I want to be in your business, no.
I don't want you in my business either.
It's that I want you to be safe when you're doing your business.
Again, with the bathroom, are you sure?
Not that kind of business, no.
Why
With
are we
whatever it
yelling?
is you do, there's no pushing buttons again, okay?
You're pushing buttons on him as well.
I'm trying not to.
Why do
This
you
is-
two act like siblings?
Well, can't you see the family resemblance, like gestures between?
Yeah, obviously.
Some things transcend blood. No, fine, whatever. I know I'm being.
But that's it, right?
You have the same parent right now. It's just the enabler parent.
It's you. It's Kay.
Kay's not an
Oh.
enabler. I was talking about S.
No, S is their mutual boyfriend.
Oh my god. I don't want to
no.
be the parent again, guys. I know my handle is Dungeon Mom Theta, but I'm not the Dungeon Mom. Sekri's the Dungeon Dad.
Kay is honestly the
Vahivel
wine ant.
Vahivel is the parent right now that's just letting the kids run wild.
Pretty much.
He's a parent that is way too tired to do anything about the kids. So it's like, as long as they're not screaming in pain, yeah.
As long as they're not dead.
As long as they're not dead.
As long as they come home.
I apologize
I
for
don't
being
care.
churlish. It's a bit of a churlish time. We should attend to our preparations for whatever we're about to find on this distressed ship.
Yeah, like I am now. Mac is actually putting his hair up.
All right. So anything else in this, like, the rest of like the 30 minutes left until arriving to the point?
No, S just finds a corner where people don't perceive him and just vibes. Though he would be eyeing the communications portion of the bridge, because that's like his idea is, we get close enough, send out a communication request and wait. So he's just watching that area.
Okay. You
Mac
do see
tries
that.
to be less hungover.
Okay. There's a section nearby in the bridge that leads to like a resting area where there can be found, from food, coffee, water, obviously no more things that can cause inebriation, but you go there, you make yourself a cup of coffee. And in this time, you do see that the Chief Tarasen and Chief Kumar, engineer in a hangar, exit out, go and do some stuff. You see that Greltuan also exits out, leaving Megan in the bridge. And the rest of the individuals around here, most of them remain, the ones that are working in their stations, and those that were from other sections go back to the business. Eventually, after like the 30 or so minutes, the now familiar visual of the breaking through the drift and exiting out into the material plane becomes, as you no longer see this like cascading shades of purple, and now just the blackness of space again. And in the situation table, the holographic display, they see that you are now, if you would go with the engines of the ship, it would take about like an hour without being in the drift, which would be probably 1 or 2 minutes in drift time. And you are in more or less hailing range. And the Berneri Alduri begins setting up the communications for hailing it. And he sets up and says, "Here, the Dralark, contacting for the ship that sent the distress signal. We are at range for hailing. Please respond if you require any assistance. I repeat, this is the Dralark. We can provide an assistance, but please respond." There's like a silence, just wait an answer before you see that he like moves his hand to the earpiece that goes with a small communicator and begins moving something in the console. And you see that in the display of the table changes from the holographic like representation of the space around you to a what would be the equivalent of this, the waveform lines indicating the sound coming in. There's no visual, but there's a cut out voice, more or less saying, "We got some damage. Engine is. We require assistance." And then there's nothing else. "Hello, here the Dralark. We receive you. Coming in. Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Guys, is there any way we can help clear this up?
From my understanding, there would not be because we are getting a receiving, and this sounds like it's breaking up on microphone side.
Yeah.
Yudhushalduri look at you and says, "No, signal got lost. We could amplify and everything, but I no longer receiving a signal. Probably they lost power to the communications too. I don't know."
Have you tried turning it off and turning it back on? It's always worth a try, you know.
I mean, you're
you have
not
to
wrong.
check.
It is usually, yeah. I'm gonna give you that one. That one's always worth a try.
I don't. If they're having problems with engines and power, probably turning it on and off won't work for them. Chief, and, he looks at Bahibel and he just looks back at you. Actually, maybe you see that he goes to the table and begins adjusting some information in it. Any of you know how to work sensors?
Would that be a computers or an engineering check? Either way, it's the same number for me.
Same. It's that computers or engineering.
It would
'cause
imply
it's gonna be good for either one.
either it would be more of physical sciences, but engineering would also work mainly as
Could roll a physical science.
if you
I
have
can roll engineering.
I'm better at
So-
engineering, but I have the capability of a physical science roll.
So you do know that sensors are still not fully functional. They are kind of damaged. So engineering would be more of trying to circumvent the damage in it. I would say that whatever
What if we do both?
if you do engineers, that will help the physical science, but the one that would give
Okay.
the more information will be physical science.
So I'll roll engineering to help with the physical science roll.
Okay. Right. So I'll roll phys sci.
You tell me how much was in the engineering.
So it's a 17 on the dice, but it's a 13 on the as a modifier.
30.
30?
So yeah, it's 30.
God.
Jesus. Okay.
All right.
How much is in the physical?
All right, dice. That's gonna be a 21.
21. Okay. So I was thinking that for the DC for the engineering would be 25. So it passes, and I would say that you would add a +2 as it was successful to your physical. So it will be a total of 23.
3.
Yeah, 23 total.
Okay. So after filling with it and adjusting it, definitely, Mac, this is very much a situation that you're trying to make work something that it needs change sooner or later. Even if you manage to get a better reading, this thing will just get you so far. But you're moving some of the extra energy, trying to adjust some of the just overall machinery in it, and as it is taking a bit of effort to get some concrete readings, but you do get a better visual-esque of the ship, indicating some damage in it and some life forms in it, but you don't pinpoint how many were in the ship. It's just that there's life forms in there.
Oh, like that's important to S. He will relay that there's damage and signs of life.
That's important to us. Wow. Yeah, this is information that you, the two of you, managed to show in the situation table, so everyone is seeing the result of that.
It really doesn't clear up entirely all that we were worried about. All it says is that they're not all dead
Yet.
Well, I mean, it proves that there is a ship out there with damage and people on it, so it eliminates at least 2 theories.
It doesn't necessarily prove that it's not a trap yet, though, right?
It could be a trap. It could also be a lost cause if there's too much damage, and it seems that there's damage to engine enough to cut off power for external things. They could be running out of any sort of viable air. Who knows?
Question. How well traversed is this particular area of the void? Is this an area? Are we? Is it?
We were quite far before our hyper jump because it seemed like we were in areas exploring new worlds that didn't even have like full names, just like this is X
like
strings of numbers.
Strings of numbers, numbers and letters.
Right. And we were doing like it seemed almost like research and gathering.
Almost like we're a colony ship.
Something like that. So we made the jump towards Absalom without knowing where Absalom was until we found it, and now this is going towards that. So we're getting closer to civilization, but I don't know how
even
close.
now we still don't generally. We have a general direction of Absalom. We don't have pinpoint location.
Right. That's
my reason for asking is you don't put a mousetrap in a room full of cats. Would it make sense for this to be a trap? Are people nearby reliably frequently enough for that to be something that makes sense?
Can I roll a vibe check?
Yeah, honestly, is there a vibe check that we can roll?
Sense motive, I think, would be the closest thing to a vibe check here.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Former pirate, can I roll pirate vibes?
Wow. Okay. I need to clarify what. So one by one, I need you guys to clarify what kind of vibe, like where is your question going to figure out?
And
right.
Because vibe check. Where are you vibing? The DM to see the trap?
No, I want to vibe the situation. Like, does this seem like, yeah, we have this stuff, but I mean, like, you can break a toy to try and get the attention. That doesn't mean that you're not going to punch a kid on a playground. Sorry.
We are using very strange analogies.
We are. Okay.
Wow.
My mind went to, like, kids on a playground, and it's like the bully breaks the toy and it gets the attention, and he's still going to be a bully and push people around, but it's still.
That's not quite what I was.
But like,
that's not what I envisioned when you said I'm gonna punch a kid on the playground.
I know. My brain was working a lot quicker than
you could speak.
Putting words.
Yeah.
Well, my question is more: if my goal is to steal a semi-truck, I would not post up on a backcountry road to steal a semi-truck. I would be in a place where there are semi-trucks.
Yeah.
That is my question.
All right, so
I guess we're doing the same vibe check, but on different sides of the spectrum.
Right.
So one is, are we on a side road on the country where nothing happens, and the other
are we on the side road of the universe?
Okay. So, this is
I will say S is a paranoid pessimist. He is going to look for the worst situations. That's where his vibe check is going to be.
Yeah, Mac is a former space pirate. His vibe check is going to be.
It's just I'm seeing if it would be history, culture, physical science. So.
Mac will be looking for signs that this is a trap or this place is frequented by pirates or hunters of some kind. There are people who are looking to take ships.
There's no history, but culture might be the closest because vast number of cultures in the galaxy, understanding of culture. So I guess that would be the closest to history. So culture maybe for knowing if we have any information of the area we are, if it has been traversed, if there's somewhere here. Physical science would be if you want to use the sensors to figure out if there's anything nearby, a system or something. We're just dead in the middle of nothing. Let me see. I would say profession or piloting to know, for Mac, it would be either piloting or profession. And we would count profession former pirate.
I'm gonna just
more or
write
less
down on my
remembering-
sheet former pirate under profession from now on.
Is that
Uh,
charisma and or wisdom based?
Yeah, honestly, what do you want for that one?
I think it would be wisdom.
Street
For that.
smarts.
Cool.
Actually, I think it might be more sense motive for that one. But
Oh, damn it. Don't give me a sense motive check, Secret. I'm an android.
Are
Oh
we-
man.
Are we
Okay.
near the space highway?
I rolled for culture.
okay. Yeah. I'm also, if you guys have an idea of like a specific skill that you're like this way and you explain me the reasoning, sure. There's some that will be like,
Okay, can
no,
I
you can't.
diplomacy my way through this? No, I'm kidding.
I,
I would like to
Right
intimidate the ship.
Into
I have to
telling
write
me
down
the
former
secrets.
pirate on my
I
sheet.
have a skill that I would utilize, but that's based off of the knowledge that player has, not that character has.
And player
I'm
doesn't
gonna
have
roll
Jack
pilot.
right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll piloting for a pirate check, basically.
yeah,
I'm gonna make a
piloting
pirate
would be the
check.
closest.
So I rolled culture to see what area that we're in. Is it like Null said? Is it like a vastly traversed, or is it just we're still in the middle of BFE nowhere? And I got a 29.
29. Okay. All right. So you are looking at the information, and either you take. I think this would be something that you do in the situation table, even like something that everybody is able to see, that you move around and definitely getting some of the information about where and things are. It's difficult as the data banks of the ship are still being recovered and some are just a mess. But when you move around, you get pockets of information of of systems and some data are gathered. It's corrupted, but you do see some. You're getting to the edge of where those pockets become more and more and more prevalent instead of just being, sporadic sparks of like there's something here. And millions of light years away, there's something over there. There's more
Okay.
consistency.
My
So it's
my other question that I have, and I apologize to everyone else who wants to announce their roles. With this information and looking at the sensors on the ship, or this might be a good question for somebody else who is looking at the sensors on the ship instead of the situation table. But can we see what type of vessel is it based on the sensors? Like, is it a mining vessel? Is it just like a civilian vessel? Is it somebody that was partying, passed out, and their ship just drifted off into the middle of nowhere?
Is it the Honda CRV of spaceships?
Please don't be the Honda CRV of spaceships. I will not be helping.
Is it a Toyota Camry?
Is
That's
it a
worse
Still
than
minivan?
won't be
CRV.
helping. God, it's
Is that a
full of
Subaru?
Karens.
It's yo, is that a Supra?
Is it the Space Prius?
Guys,
It's a
we've continued
Winnebago.
the chaos of the last.
So
if you guys are here for the last Thursday, we continue the chaos. Don't worry.
I don't know.
It's a Tesla and it will cut you off.
Then it'll start on fire.
Yes.
Okay,
Ninja.
so there's some information you already gotten that would affect. You know what? I think I'll give it with the role of culture you already have and the other information you've been getting. The distress signal had coding that many people in this bridge, even S, identify for S and Mac that are knowledgeable in this part, identify with coding that it indicates a certain type of damage and alert. If this was, first of all, if this wasn't something from known space, either Backworlds or Rescarium, this probably would have been a code that you don't recognize. and there's enough information that is like, this is a recognizable code. That's first.
Okay.
In terms of what type of ship, I think that would require another physical science role, trying to again battle with the damage sensors that are to get a better view, because you're getting like the view of more or less like the figure, the silhouette, but not enough data to figure like what type of ship is this.
Okay.
Though it's not as big as the Jalark, for sure.
Okay. Whoever wants to go next, go next. I'm done.
So, I think me and S are making vibe checks.
I don't know. I'm still thinking about if I'm making a check here. So I'm
Okay. I made my vibe check. I would have chatted. 35.
Okay. What
It's a
was the
35
check?
pilot check. It's a
What-
pilot check for
What
pirates.
was the skill?
Piloting.
Okay.
Piloting.
Up pilot. My name's Hal Jordan, and I'm a pilot.
So by the location and that there's some loose signals of celestial bodies, a couple of days of travel away from here. This doesn't seem to be the location of a main route. So this ship probably wasn't picked on the way somewhere. Like this is not a ship that was, attacked on the main road.
So this is we're in Backroads universe, but this
A side road, more or less, possibly. But
we're on the
definitely,
highways, not the interstate.
basically,
uh,
or like the back highway.
Okay,
Now-
I'm gonna warn you guys. Sekrain probably doesn't understand half those references because he doesn't drive.
Yeah,
I mean, neither do I, but
I don't. But I
I also
okay.
don't understand how it works for the US, the highways, and that part. I do understand some of it, not fully, but I get it, the idea.
We
Also,
would have to
another
talk about the
thing-
interstate system after.
Well, you see, Dwight DIs now.
oh my
Oh
god.
God, no, we're not doing
We can't
this.
get into this, right? That's after stream.
So back on topic, back on schedule, not a schedule, back on topic. You also, you don't have much information yet in your memories of how you probably did this, Kat. How you work before, and what was the modus operandi of your crew or other pirates?
What Mac remembers, and from what Sky has gathered, the crew would put somebody onto the ship, and that person would take the ship somewhere off course to be attacked.
You don't fully remember if take it off course or do something particular, but you're also getting the idea of like, I mean, attacking a ship on a highway, on somewhere very transited, may not be also the best idea because everybody can see it. So, this ship was the ship was a result of an ambush, being taken away, or was purposely put over there. Like, for a fact, this ship wasn't attacked and left here. Like for some reason, it arrived here. If it was put there for a trap, if this is a bait, or this is the result of the ambush, but definitely this ship wouldn't be here just cause.
Okay.
So this ship is here on purpose. We know this.
This
Well,
is,
design
You don't know
this.
what purpose. Yeah, you don't know what purpose, but definitely the ship wasn't just, yes, my house is a block away and I turn around the corner here to cut 5 minutes on my way now.
So they were either attacked here or put here.
Yes,
Just let
one
me
of those
pet
two.
you without you chewing on my fingers.
No, Mom.
Meanwhile, Ray's just petting the void.
Yeah, it's my cat is here. He's just
Oh, is that
Oh,
Mr.
I
Mew?
know, I know it's Mr. Mew, but it's
There's-
just an amusing visual.
yeah, there's an amusing visual.
Mew in
Yeah.
the void.
There's a Mew-shaped space right here. Hi, baby.
It's
But
just a
Mac,
space.
Mac will relay that information if they were either attacked here or they were put here. But they are here on purpose of some kind. This is, I don't know, but they're here on purpose.
Second,
Yes.
I've got two that I think could give me the information that I want. And I will tell you the information that I want and the two options that I have, and you tell me which one is the better. With my knowledge, vague as it may be, of the damage, and I know that I don't have a number of life forms on there, I would like to weigh how viable us intervening here would be. Is it like too great of damage, which I think would be a physical science or a survival roll, to really make an effort here?
So to figure out more about that might be more of physical science as you try to get a better view of the ship to then be like, this is like, first of all, figure out what's the front, what's the back. If this is the full
Yeah.
ship or it's just half of the ship or what's going on to figure out like where.
Cool. Next, I have just a bit of a moral question. Could I use my own stream points to give me advantage on this roll? Yeah, I'm gonna do it then.
Oh, I can do it. Hold on.
No, I've got it. I've got it pulled up.
Out of it.
Hey,
All
hey,
right.
Sekrane has disadvantage on his next roll.
All right. So,
Not that
I
he
hear
rolls
you
very
getting-
often, I'm just saying.
all right. So,
You earned those
Thank
stream
you,
points.
Vetrix.
I haven't rolled in a while. What would I roll for disadvantage then?
I don't know,
Yeah.
if we get
I don't
into
know,
a
but
fight...
thanks, Vetrix, for it.
It's gonna be like an NPC healing one of us,
Probably.
but at disadvantage.
right.
Oh.
Trips falls over. That with my
I'll yell at
advantage
Vetrix.
gives me a just barely 25 on my physical science.
Yay!
Okay. So it takes quite the effort and it's frustrating, but you manage to more or less clear the visual of it and get, first of all, the ship it's not broken, it's like full. You do see that there seems to have been hull breach in various sections. You manage more or less to grab some data of how much energy can be, how much power is going through, how much energy is going through. It's very fluctuative. You're not sure if it's because the ship is in, bad state or if it's the bad state of the sensors. And I would say with that, you manage to figure that the life forms are in various parts of the ship. You not fully pinpoint where, but they are inside this ship with various holes in it.
Is S able to identify the type of ship, like its purpose?
Well, with that, you also get more of a better view of it. Oh my God, where is the thing? I close it to look at the list.
Ladies and gentlemen, this week on Starfinder, we figure out whether or not we just abandon people in space.
Do we abandon people in space or not? There it is. The list of things. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do.
Go ahead, I lean back for you. Come on. No, you don't want to.
Almost all of Theta's cats have made an appearance tonight.
I need to see the orange one.
I don't know where he's at.
He's missing.
So
I think
first
we're
of all,
missing 3 cats, and then we'll have all of the stream cats.
Phoenix.
you do see that this ship is around a large size
Hi,
ship.
Sammy.
So it's
Phoenix.
between it would be like around 600, 800 feet long. So definitely it will have a variable crew complement. First of all, second, this ship in particular kind of looks like transportish. That doesn't seem to. The thing with it doesn't seem to have anything that implies like, this is a very elegant design, this is a luxury, or this is specifically for money. It looks very
It's a prison ship.
kind of a bland thing.
Oh, it is a prison ship.
And in a way, if you require to move cargo, you don't require the most elaborate design or thing, just something that is able to fly, holds things well, and that's it. And it seems to be of that type.
Okay.
All right.
I will share that it looks like it's a transport ship and that there are various life forms in areas of the ship. I'm going to turn to Alduri. I know that you lost the signal. Do you think they could still potentially receive ours? We don't need them to respond, but we need them to congregate to a single area.
I think I can try. I don't know if they will receive it or not, but we can try sending a signal.
At this point, I don't think that they're
Nothing.
I don't think this is a lost cause. But if we gotta move, we gotta move now. The way that their hull is torn up, either it's our sensors or it's their ship, but power's fluctuating and there's multiple breaches.
They're almost as bad as we were.
Yeah.
Well, actually, they're worse.
So if you can get a message out for them all to congregate, I think we should get a team out there, perhaps in the Sky Medic, to receive the others.
And the Wanderer 2, both would probably be the best. Wanderer 2 can carry more people, and most injured can go in the Sky Medic.
Wanderer 2 is not huge. I think that knowing the size of the two ships, because we would have seen them, with my understanding of the life form size, do I think we need the two ships, or do you think we could manage with the one?
Let me double check on that because there's specific things about it.
Yeah, just got shoved away by the chair.
Oh no.
Venus, can you get the orange one?
Yes.
Yes.
Show me the orange boy.
Bring me the orange boy.
Bring me the goods.
The Pete's.
So there's no. I think I don't think you have seen the interior of the Sky Medic, but you have seen the interior of the Wanderer 2, and you've seen the outside of the Sky Medic. The Sky Medic is slightly larger, but not much. But the interior of the Wanderer, at the moment that they are, it's more of ample space behind with enough seating to probably hold around 10 people seating. And if you want to put some in the floor of the cargo section of it, probably you could fit another, probably not 10 maybe, if you want to cramp it. So
Beta came back without a cat.
Probably you could fit in the Wanderer around between 12 and 20 if you want to cramp it and to the point that you can still able to fly it and you don't have anybody in the cockpit area of the Wanderer. For the Sky Medic,
Sickness doing math, guys.
We love it when Game Master does math.
Game Master to do some fierce math.
Oh no, I just finished. I already said how much it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
If we need to take 2, I'm confident in flying Wanderer 2 on my own.
I can play the Sky Medic.
I mean, maybe Bahibel intervenes. We also have some pilots that Mac has been helping. One of them can take one of those ships and also bring some of the medic staff too. But
Why don't we send one of the pilots on the Sky Medic, get them sent out now, just in case we've got more work that we need to do here. We can head out shortly after.
Put one of the pilots
So
and the medic, couple medics on the Sky Medic. Didn't want to say medic twice in that sense, but it ended up happening. And send that first, and then we'll follow on the Wanderer too. Right?
oh,
Or do you want me to go with them, Matt? Yes.
It's your call.
just as a reminder, because that's something that the chief, the hangar chief, did clarify. The Wanderer 2 doesn't have a drift engine.
Yeah, so we
you
would be
take it
we would be
because of
taking time.
size.
The
you would
Wanderer
take-
2 would take time.
Mhm.
Yes.
That's what I'm
So-
saying, is get the Sky Medic out first now. And if we need
Why
just 2
risk
people.
one ship when we could? Can we move a little closer? Not like a ton closer, mind you. I mean, like, cut the distance in half between here and there, and then take the smaller vessels.
Or go with the Sky Medic, figure out what's the situation, and then send the Drawlark closer
Sure, yeah.
if it's safer.
Because
That's
I
always a plan.
I have a beacon for like the distress beacon. I can just move that from Wanderer 2 onto our Sky Medic. So again, Ash is paranoid.
Right.
Understandable.
So
Because
the
Matt,
plan
this thing has been attacked, and we're in the middle of nowhere. So
So just to clarify what the plan will be, you guys will take the Sky Medic, go to the ship, see the situation, and then either bring people quickly or call for the Drawlark, right?
Yeah.
Call
Can
for
we
the
get
Drawlark.
medics? Can we get medics to
yeah,
come
can we,
with
can we
us?
pick up medics first? Some of us aren't proficient in medicine.
I can roll it, but I'm not good at it.
Yep, you can bring some medics along with you.
Max
Okay,
proficiency
I
in
lied.
medicine is field medicine.
I lied it. I am good at medicine.
Look at you. Good at
It's-
everything, aren't you?
It's a 6.
I got a 12 in
Matt-
medicine.
I'm half as good at medicine as X.
It just means that you need to be connected to the internet in your brain.
I'm an older generation model.
You just look it up on WebMD.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it looks like you've got cancer. He's got like shrapnel
Yeah.
sticking out of his
I'm
chest.
just an older model of Android. Don't worry about it. That's why I don't
Right.
have all your fancy shit.
So, I think that'll be it. As we're collecting medics, as we'll grab the emergency beacon off of Wanderer 2, put that into the Sky Medic, and if we need to get anyone like critically out of there, but we make the call for the Drawlark when we get there as we assess the situation if we need the Drawlark closer.
Or we get blown up.
Or we
Or-
get blown up.
Or we get blown up and we roll new characters.
As we're all like, as we have our marching orders and we're leaving the bridge, Null is going to sidle over to Mac and
Oh.
press a
That was
thermos
weird.
into his hands and just say, "You look terrible and you smell worse. Drink this."
This is an olive branch like the hair tie. This is the hair tie olive branch return. back will say thank you. And I know.
The aggressive positioning of the sword in the proper placement.
Nope. He doesn't do that this time. He just accepts the thermos as a
No,
peace
that's
offering.
it was when Nola did that in passing where he was just
Please have some decorum. It's an herbal mix of ginger, mint, and turmeric, and it tastes terrible. But it should make your hangover feel less bad.
Thank you. You know, if you want to not hate each other and I don't know, do something that doesn't involve hating each other. At some point, I can teach you how to shoot a gun if you'd like to learn.
Barbaric.
It's only if you want to. I can teach you how to fix something, learn how to fly. It's up to you. You can teach me how to read your fancy books.
Do you not know how to read?
I don't read on your fancy level. We established that Mac knows how to read, just like on a mid high school level.
You
Remember?
just put the letters together and
Kay is gonna come up behind you guys because Kay was watching this little interaction and go, "You were doing really good. Don't kill it now."
I would love to learn
Blind
small
ants.
engine repair.
And you can teach me about your fancy books.
He's gonna leave the bridge.
Right.
this was already leaving. Like he's heading down. Like he didn't stop for any of this.
After a while, you realize they're taking their time. So either you're like holding the door in the elevator.
No,
Or
no,
just-
S wouldn't even like waited.
Wouldn't even know the door.
Yeah, he just assumes people are following him. If they don't, that's
That's their problem.
Yeah, that's their problem.
Yeah, the notice is sent from the bridge to get some medics. Get ready, like one or two or three for the sky medic, and you guys begin making your way to the hangar. And we're gonna have a quick interlude here, a quick pause, and we'll return to continue to where to the unknown to see what comes, what happens, what will be. So we'll be back in a bit.
Blast
Thank you.
off.
So, welcome back, everybody. Why did I make that pause?
I don't know.
Welcome back, everybody. And let's retake our story. I'll say a couple of minutes later, after our group finished having a small discussion while one of them just went on.
Hold on,
Move
I
on.
clicked the next thing, but it's not showing on my Twitch that we're still live. Do I need to refresh?
We're live. I see us.
Okay,
No, yeah,
I need
see
to
ya.
refresh me then.
Okay, good.
Sorry, I just wanted to make sure that we were good on the tech end.
No, it's fine. It's good that we're doing that. Don't want to like go on for 10 minutes and then be like,
The
hey guys.
last session.
It's like whenever you just have a long conversation and then realize you were muted the whole time.
Whole time.
So we are at the hangar. Chief Tarsine has already settled some of them. Last minute adjustments to the Sky Medic after the check-ins, and you have with you 3 more medics, along with 2 legionnaires that, after some talking, you realize that were, pointedly insisted that they will come with you by both Kreltuan and Megon.
I don't like this.
Are
I
they?
was.
Yeah, you do see the medics have same uniform that you've been seeing the rest of the crew that in particular work for different sections of the ship. They do have the signal of the medical staff, and their colors are like this very soft teal in the lines of the uniforms. Meanwhile, the legionnaires, they're more armored, both of them carrying some laser rifles. And the colors, again, this golden, red, and silver adornments in it. Both normal, just humanoids. And yeah, the interior of the Sky Medic, which its appearance I have posted in the Discord chat of Homeward, it's a bit more ample than the Wanderer 2, but once you're inside, you do see why it is this situation. It doesn't seem to have enough space to, have all the 10 people sitting in there, but there are, I think in total, it can hold, I'll say four medical beds where people can sit down and be attended, and along with some seating. Like in total, in a normal way, maybe 8 people could be in the cargo section area of the ship, and more cramped, you gather that it would be kind of a hazard for the ship if you need to move around. The cockpit, it's a bit more, you do see that a bit more protected, a kind of not as ample view for the one that will be piloting. And instead of the same kind of modern, sleek controls and displays, it is more of a utilitarian design in general, like a very straightforward how each section is and works. So, who will be piloting?
I think's gonna be piloting Sekrin. Just take a wild stab.
I will. Ow.
Yeah, obviously.
I bit my
Wait,
tongue
what the
saying
hell?
that. Oh god.
Well, now since Mill can't pilot as they've been stabbed,
The universe hated that so bad I bit my tongue.
so bad. I guess I'll pilot.
I mean, technically, I could pilot. I just can't pilot as good as you.
I don't think anybody can pilot as good as Mac right now. I don't think anybody can pilot as good as Mac right now. That's not 20.
So,
Do you want that number, Sekrid? Because it's not a nice number for you. No? Okay.
is co-pilot necessary on the Sky Medic?
I mean,
Not with a nat 20.
we're not 20.
37.
I'm trying to figure out here from the stats of the thing, because it says crew, pilot, and then below it says VI. So I'm not sure what it represents.
Somebody smarter than us in the chat. What's VI?
Let me see in the other, because, for example, Ringworld, crew, I don't know what VI is. But it says computer, medicine...
Virtual intelligence.
Thank you. Somebody smarter than me.
All right. No, it doesn't. There's seating for a co-pilot. There's not a VI in here. But
Is that just like an autopilot type situation?
It's an
I would
extraordinarily
assume
sophisticated programmed entity that replicates the social pleasantries of an artificial personality, yet lacks the soul and true free will of an android or sentient robotic organism.
It's Siri.
is that
It
the
monitors
blow up.
the vessel's status, contribute as an officer, and more. Each VI has a tier that determines its modifiers for computers, piloting, and gunnery checks, yada, 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 yada.
Gotcha.
And there
It's-
is
I would
a
say-
chart.
It's the blow up automatic pilot from
Oh my god,
Airplane.
from Airplane! Oh, that's a core memory. How
I'd
did you do
forgotten.
that to me, Faye?
I'm so glad I don't remember that movie.
It's such a great movie. I want to
What-
rewatch
Oh,
it.
it's such a good movie.
It's a really stupid movie to the point where I've blocked it out of my mind, Sekrain.
what's the name of the movie? Airplane?
Airplane.
There's two
Airplane.
of
It's
them.
a.
The
It's
second
a
one is
disaster
horrible.
spoof.
Is it
Oh,
like
just only watch the first one, but it's a
Crazy
disaster
Police
spoof.
Academy, or like
It's very much
Naked
Police
Gun?
Academy. It's very
a s-
much
It's a spoof
Is it-
of the movie Airport.
yeah.
It's a disaster spoof. It's great.
There's
Yeah.
It's
titties in
meant
it.
to be
Well,
bad.
So there's no VI in the Sky Medic at this moment. So if someone wants to help on the co-piloting, that's okay. But again,
If it's
Mac,
not necessary, then I'm not going to do it.
Again,
Natural
Mac
20.
did you want
natural 20, yeah, no. As you guys get in and
I
get your
Would
your
like
gear
to
set up.
roll a check, however.
Okay,
Not
what?
for piloting. I want to sense motive on the Legionnaires.
Oh my god.
Vibe check.
Okay.
They're
wanna
probably
vibe
here
check
to
the
help
Legionnaires.
protect us in case it
Attempt
does-
to sense motive. What are you trying to attempt to
You know,
sense motive?
based on what
So
yes, no.
very much I have not trusted Legionnaires for a while, since regaining certain memories. I want to get a gleaming of why they're here without interacting with them, like if they are here to monitor or what, because it was very much insisted upon that they be here. So
They're geared to the teeth. They're here to protect us in case shit goes down.
Or
hmm,
they're here to kill one of us.
I
should we go
understand
rogue.
as a player, this is character.
That's fair.
Roll sense motive. Roll sense motive.
Yeah, Mac actually would totally agree, considering what he was being told him,
Okay,
especially after what Kay told him.
so that is going to be a 21.
21. Okay. So you are kind of in the back of the ship as you see that the medics are getting themselves situated. You have a Lashunta there. You have another Shirin, and one that kind of looks human, but they give away what they are every now and then when there's like a weird sheen, metallic sheen, shine every now and then when they move with lights, and the skin does look giveaway, like maybe they're not human. And the Legionnaires, they're just at the moment there. So you do sense that they seem to be at the moment very calm, like chill. There's one in particular with a very large backpack that has the symbols of explosive just kind of adjusting itself constantly, just not being comfortable with the explosive ready to blow up to destroy you all.
Why did we bring those?
Why did you just tell us that?
Why do we have a
it-
bag of explosives?
No, out of jokes, they seem like okay. We're going in this very calm in general. They do seem somewhat serious, like they're trying to keep the composure of like, okay, I'm here to do a job, but they are not eyeing you. They are looking around at the sky medic. One of them seems to be a bit more like, like interested, even a bit distracted on the ship itself. But a part of that, they are, by all looks and means, calmly just there,
Okay, cool.
following orders.
Okay, cool.
Kay will go up to the one with explosives and ask
The
why explosives.
explosives are
I'll
not real.
check about the airlock.
None of it's real, Saccharine. This is all imaginary.
It's all in there.
It's all in your head.
My immersion. No,
Broke
they're
it.
just armed with a rifle, like a laser rifle and a laser pistol, and a couple of magazines for each one.
Okay.
I wouldn't say heavily armored, but they don't have. You've seen some of the security officers having some protection, and one or two of them having a bit of a more hair protection. These ones do have like that kind of a heavy armor, but it's still not like full on battles or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's just a brief moment where we have a shared hallucination of someone with a bag full of explosives, but we all turn to look. They're not there. A ghost.
You could say it is a ghost in the machine. What?
What do you call it when a zombie? Never mind.
Oh, say it. Say
So-
it.
Yes.
No,
So the
no,
explosives aren't real. There is no explosives.
No explosives. No
And
explosives.
Secret's just fucking with us. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. No, that's exactly what that was.
Yeah, they are just there at the moment. Nothing particularly that comes out or pops into your vision when you are giving them the looks and being kind of discreet about eyeing them and giving them the vibe check.
Cool. I'm gonna continue doing that.
All right, you keep an eye on them. Got it.
I don't interact with them at all. I just watch.
You can just say the tiniest tear.
They are not interacting much with you either. They're just giving everybody their space and taking a seat and just adjusting. So, Mac, you get on the controls, and again, it just feels natural to you, Ale. I was going to start speaking Spanish. Sitting there, taking the controls, beginning to get the systems on the engines. The rest of you don't feel even when the ship lifts up and begins to move until you look toward the cockpit and see through the window that you're moving toward the exit of the hangar. And once out there, Mac, it's somewhat of a liberating moment, just being in the controls and jumping out into the void. Immediately you receive the information from the Dralark of coordinates that you have to jump and everything, and also like communication from Alduri saying, if anything happens, just let us know and we'll be jumping right on you to help you. Or if you were required to have more medics in the hangar ready for you, we'll be in touch.
Thanks.
Handful.
Let you know.
Hey.
But I'm
Yeah.
flying. It's
So you-
short bursts of communications when Mac is flying. He's a very conscientious driver. Don't text and drive.
Okay, so you get in position, turn your engines for a moment as you charge up the drift engine, and again, in a smaller scale, it feels more imposing, the opening of the rift, even if it's not as big as the one for the Dralark, but you are in a moment, flying by these waves and strands and this colorful display of different shades of purple, um, kind of a different reality even. And I would say after like 5-10 minutes ish, you come out at the coordinates that you received. And at first, it takes you a bit finding out where it is, because in this zone, you're not near a star, so it's just darkness, complete darkness, until you do see you keep moving toward more directly on the coordinates, and you see some blinking and some lights still functioning, giving a bit of a shape to the ship, though not very clear, still dark and obscure. And even you don't see lights from windows or any port views in it. And it's just drifting there. Some sparkling from lights out there, but and as you get closer, you begin seeing the hull breaches in it. Definitely, there's big impacts in it. Some are from the metal bending into the ship, and there's one or two in the backside of the engine area that the metal bends outside.
Those out, yeah. That's from an engine explosion. The other ones are penetrating explosions. So something went into the ship. And Mac will explain that.
Roll me a perception check as you're flying.
Can I lean forward and get my dice, please? I'm trying not to disturb a cat. 22. Hi, did I disturb you rolling my dice? Have I paid my taxes?
22?
22. Plus a cat.
Okay. Plus a cat. Okay. I'm not sure the cat modifier helps much, but the 22, there's something slightly off. You're not
I'm nervous now.
pinpointed for sure. And you begin looking where to land. You receive a message from the Dralark saying, "Hey, we still haven't been able to receive another answer from them, but we are picking you in the sensors and we're keeping an eye on you. We'll try to begin moving supply engines to get slightly closer, but we'll keep a distance still."
If there's something off, Mac will actually call.
The thing is, there's like something is like missing.
Yeah.
You haven't been able to put what it is that is missing to be off. It's just like
he'll call like S up because S is smarter than Mac, obviously. According to Mac. So is probably Null and K. Mac knows that he's the dumbest one of the group.
You can't read.
So, S, interrupted from bad ideas, will go up to the cockpit.
Yeah, Mac will explain that there's something wrong. He doesn't know what, but something's weird.
All right, what roll am I rolling to see what's weird?
I would say perception.
All right. Come on, dice, don't do me wrong. They did me wrong.
Ryu, lay down.
Oh, no.
14.
They did you so wrong.
No, you don't see anything. Apart of the damaged ship and the lack of lights in it.
Too busy thinking about my bad idea.
Stop that.
I think Mac could tell that S is a little distracted at this moment.
Oh yeah. If it comes down to it, I will call all of the rest of them up here and be like, something's up.
All right,
Somebody smarter.
I will come up and see if I can figure it out.
All right,
All
so I will make room in the cockpit and leave and contemplate a bad idea further.
I'm
Yeah,
driving. Somebody smarter.
Yeah, I'm no. Saccharine, I will make room in the cockpit, go back and contemplate my bad idea further.
Okay. Contemplate those ideas.
What am I rolling?
Somehow Noel's gonna come up here and get it. I don't know how.
Am I rolling perception?
It will be a perception. Yes.
$24.
You get to it, and so it is odd because for a lot of your sensory, it's that kind of aura surrounding it. So in this time, you're seeing beyond that. So you focus your eyes into the outside. Yeah, there's something not right, but it can't pinpoint what. You're beginning to agree more with Mac that yeah, this does seem like a damaged ship that got attacked, and yeah, the damage does verify with the signal, and yeah, it also seems, you assume, Pack World-ish,
Does
or at
the
least
type
adjacent.
of damage that's there, does it seem like an explosion or an impact? Because that makes a difference. Because if it's like an impact, was it like an asteroid or a meteorite? Or it would just be an asteroid at that point because it's like out in space. Because I think things become a meteor. I don't know. Geologist, when do things become a meteorite?
When they enter the atmosphere.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah.
So was it like just pelted in a belt, or is it? Ow! Get off me! Ow! Get your claw out of my back!
Baby.
I love you.
1d4
that
damage.
really hurt. Ow. Okay.
It'll be okay.
I'm good. Sorry. So can I tell if it was like a boom, like something shot at it, or is it like an impact from like a really big rock?
So
Like,
it does
what's in
look
the
like
debris
impacts.
field?
Debris.
The debris? The debris field?
I said
debris
it like that
field.
on purpose just to mess with him.
I have a related question that maybe
Oh.
everything could be answered at once. Is there shrapnel from the ship, and are there bodies floating around?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, like what are we seeing in the debris field?
So the DC was 25. Technically, you didn't pass, but you made a point, and I think with that, I will allow it to pass. You've seen the impacts of the whole breaches. Definitely seem like they don't seem like rocks have impact. There's nothing left in those holes like a rock would have impacted. And the more you're seeing, you're picking it up. There's no debris in it.
Yeah, we should leave.
Boy.
There's no debris. These are
No debris.
impacts, and those are engine explosions.
Yeah, but there's no pieces of metal outside of the ship.
Here's
There's no-
Mac's problem. Those are engine explosions. Pointing with the debris, and the explosion points outward. There should be debris there.
Yeah.
In fact, if there should be debris anywhere, it should be by those engine explosions, because it's an explosion forcing things outward of the ship.
I think we should leave this alone and return to the Drawlark. And I'm going to go to the back where everyone else is and explain there's no debris here. This very likely is a trap. I vote we go back.
Should we try to hail them while we're closer? Or no.
Actually, since we're closer and I'm at the cockpit, is there a scan that I can perform on the ship to see if there is anything there from this distance?
I think it will be a physical scan. There's a specific role for scanning. I don't remember. I'm gonna go with you know what? I think it's computers.
Dude,
I don't know if it's
doing?
computers or physical science.
I am good with computers.
Let me
Can
see.
we do a computer
Starships.
check?
No. You know, for the moment, let's go either physical science or computers that you would do the check, or if someone else wants to inside the cockpit as the information is being passed around.
Well, I think I'm the only one currently in the cockpit, so I'll do it.
Okay.
Oh, brain. Do numbers, please. 24. Oh, man.
Okay. As you're doing this scan to begin checking around, first of all, during this whole time, you also find out a small hangar, or at least a section that you could move in and land, or at least attach to.
I don't move there. I'm staying here.
Still letting you know, you have figured where it should be, and you're moving around there, still like drifting. And as you're doing the scan, you detect, first of all, radiation in some sections of the ship. It's obfuscating a bit some of the sensors, but along with that, you do pick life forms. And as you're picking that, you're also beginning to notice there's movement from the signals being kind of standing still, begin to move a bit.
The ship or the signal?
The signals inside the ship. Or at least
the life forms in the ship are moving.
Kind of, yes. They're like shifting, not far from where their original position, but there's some shifting. You also at this distance now get that there's no life forms in what, visually speaking, from your experience as a pilot, would probably be the area where the bridge is. The bridge seems to be empty. And the signals are spread out in different sections.
I do, just for, perhaps informed decision making, because there are radiation things, depending on how far that radiation spreads out. I do want to remind that I did give Kay the radiation sweeper. I don't know if she still has it on, but
yeah,
that would alert a ping of any radiation within 120 feet of the sensor.
Oh, you are not 120.
Yeah, I know. I know that we're a lot
that.
farther. I'm just like, if the radiation explosion was a big thing, that it's very far from where the center
My
is.
guess is the drift engine exploded, and that's what's causing the radiation, or something else along those lines.
I was just,
Do I know what part of the ship has the radiation? Is it more towards where the engines are, or is it more towards where the bridge is?
The radiation is more toward the back section where the engines would be, but it's kind of very spread out throughout the ship too.
Like it's been there for a little bit and it's been spreading.
Kind of. And as you're also looking at that, and I'm pinpointing more and getting more detailed information the longer you are analyzing. Some of those life forms are in the sections where there's some radiation.
Guys, I got something. The ship's radiated, and there are people. More than that, there are people in the radiation. Well, there are life forms. Don't know if they're people anymore, but there are life forms.
Well, that definitely feels like a trap.
You better not be pissing on my
Curious, though.
I think we let this one lie.
shoe.
And none of them are coming from the bridge. So whatever we
Right.
saw, I don't know how long that bridge has been gone. Can't be recent.
Where's your sense of adventure?
I just don't want to have another one of those things that we saw in our near the drift engine.
No, you remember the zombies, right?
The screaming creature that exited quite quickly.
Abruptly.
Yeah. It showed up as a life form. Hard
Yeah.
to read.
It doesn't help the radiation's obscuring some of the scanners, but if this was a drift engine explosion, there should be a lot more debris than there is.
Right.
And
The punctures going inward, do they look like claw marks or teeth marks?
yeah.
No, they look more like munition. Yeah.
Boring.
They look
No,
like
they're
munition.
gunshots, not boring.
That's actually not boring. If this
As-
was like meteor,
as
that
you're-
would be
As you
typical.
continue checking in and
Want to check the
analyzing
space
that
kraken?
information, the sensors of the Sky Medic begin to detect movement in the
Movement.
zones where are the bigger impact sections of the ship.
Oh, well, that's somehow more concerning. There's movement in an impact section.
I really think we should go back.
I'm agreeing with you.
I'm okay with that call.
And no, while I
Fine.
do appreciate a good adventure, I do not appreciate radiation.
We've established that the Drawlark is some sort of
God,
exploratory vessel, and here we are exploring. But if there's no way to do it safely, I understand.
What does the other people like? We have other people on our ship, so I'm gonna look around to them and be like, it's not just us. I worry about their lives and the dangers that could be there.
Stop eating. That's not good.
We don't have some sort of drone we could send in to just sort of take a look around.
Are you
That's what.
looking at somebody specifically when you say that?
No, just
Good?
maybe an RC car. Just really want to take a look at what's going on in there. It's a scientific curiosity. I'm looking to see if
Get the scientific-
wait.
Oh,
Oh God.
can you do
What?
it?
Oh.
Can you do something? Is it going to be cool?
Can you do something? Is it gonna be awesome?
They're an airlock that I can get out of without endangering everyone else on this ship.
Probably not.
Not this one ship, not this ship.
No,
Actually-
dang it. Oh,
Or
As
if you
you're
do this,
trying
you
to
could
figure- actually, considering time and everything, and let me do one more roll.
If you need disadvantage, I can give it.
I already used disadvantage on the first roll.
No,
I
I'm
already
just
used it.
saying. Like I have enough
I-
channel points.
I mean,
Same.
if your guys are gonna do that, then it's your decision. I'm not saying what
I
to
don't
do.
know what this rule is for, and that's
Yeah,
why
that's
I
my
don't do it.
concern.
Fuck it. We're living on the edge here. I'm doing it.
Oh, disadvantage on me. Then?
Whatever's better for us.
We need to up the ante on these points because I have way too many of them.
I have so many.
So, as you guys are talking, Mac, you look back to the ship and you see something coming out of one of the holes.
Nope.
Looks
No.
mechanical.
No.
Nope.
Looks
I turned the ship
mechanical,
around.
like a capsule with some very makeshift sections that seem like claws, but as it exits out, you see that it impacts a bit the side and manages to not fully get out as it gets for a moment stuck. But then the movement in your sensors begin to pick in more of that coming in other sections and other holes of the ship.
Pop this baby in reverse.
All right.
And I GTFO.
All right.
No input from anybody else. You just feel the G-force of Matt putting this baby backwards.
So here's a little situation. To go back to the Dralark, you need exactly a minute to charge the drift engines.
Oh, Mac will obfuscate this bitch for a minute. He can do it.
Yeah, the thing is, you have to have the supply engines turned off for that minute of charging, which means
I have
we'll
to
have
stay
to see
still
what
for
happens.
a minute, yeah.
Next
if you
time.
have
I don't like that.
Watch as I obfuscate and dance using.
So
I don't know.
We'll see what happens if the next time as our little crewmates in the Sky Medic found themselves
Oh my god.
probably springing a trap.
I am gonna need a rundown of the Sky Medic.
I called it.
Thank you
to
everyone
see
for
how
joining.
I can get myself out.
We hope you enjoy this episode, a bit chaotic of Homeward. If you like what we're doing, you can catch our other shows, Any by Night, both on every other Monday here on our Twitch channel, or on the YouTube, where you can also find our other shows, ranging from our past podcast, the rest of the seasons of Any by Night, our first season of Homeward, and other things we've done. You can also catch us in the Facebook, in Twitter, and also we have a Discord where we just talk about different things, different theories. We share some art, some memes about our different characters, and some possible theories. And I'll pass the baton to Faye.
Hi guys, I'm Faye. If you like seeing me here, you can see a lot more of me over where I'm usually at. That's going to be Little Witch RP. We've got a Discord server. We've got a Twitch. We've also got a YouTube that we do. You can find out a lot more about us by heading over to our website. That's going to be wildwitch.com. That's WILDEWITCH.com. It's got all the fun things that we've got going on, all the ways you can find us on the internet, and of course, the invite link to our Discord, where you can come hang out with me, play some D&D, all sorts of fun stuff. Yay!
All right. Thanks, everybody. Stay nerdy.
And stay nerdy. Take care. See you next time.